This is the solution video for exam 1, problem 6, which is basically asking us to translate a series of Boolean rules. So the first rule says a sandwich must have turkey or ham, but not both. So that's essentially the XOR. So this is just T XOR H. You could also do turkey or ham, but not both, so that's going to be TH bar. So those are our two. That's the first one. And then the next one says a sandwich can have only one type of meat. So this basically means I can have 0, 2, or 3 types of meat. Another way to think about this is the way I would parse this is cannot have only one type of meat. So this is one part of it, cannot have, and then only one type of meat. So one type of meat would be equal to, so we have HRT, so we'd have H bar, R, HR bar, T bar, or HRT, those two complemented, and then HRT with the first two complemented. So this is one kind of meat, one kind of meat, one kind of meat. And then, so that's only one type of meat. That's how that would translate. And cannot have be the complement of all of that. And it turns out that this is, if you want to turn this into a minimal SOP, this is just going to be TH or HR or TR. So this is two types of meat, and I may or may not have the roast beef. Or I can have these two types of meat, and I may or may not have turkey. I can have these two types of meat, and I may or may not have ham, and then I can have none of the meats. And then 3, a sandwich may have roast beef only if it has cheese. So the important thing to this is to kind of think of how can I rephrase this, because this is in the form we know. And so there's something called the contrapositive, which is basically saying I'm going to flip the conditions and I'm going to negate each of these. And something we know is that the contrapositive is always true if the original statement was true. So that when this statement is true, the contrapositive is true. And so this is basically saying if I don't have cheese, then don't have roast beef. There's another way to rephrase this. So here we've got don't have cheese. So that's cheese bar, and then we have roast beef, don't have roast beef, which is R bar. And then if you want to make this into an if-then, we're going to make this an or. So we have A bar or B. So we have the double complement that, which is just equal to C or R bar. That's problem 3. Problem 4 is a sandwich cannot have ham and cheese with roast beef. So basically, this with is another way of saying and. So it's sandwich cannot have ham and cheese and roast beef. So ham, cheese, and roast beef. I cannot have that. And then translate the following rule using the variables defined above. So a sandwich can have ham if and only if it has cheese. So this portion is H, C, or H bar, C bar, unless the sandwich has 3 or more ingredients. The unless is essentially an or, and then here we have 3 or more ingredients. So basically we can do something similar to what we had up here, where I can have H, I can have CHR, or I can have CHT, or I can have HRT, or I can have CRT. So those are my possible options for this part. And so those are my 3 different rules that I'm kind of trying to satisfy all at once. And so this is going to simplify into So this is equal to HC, or H bar, C bar, or CRH, or CHT, or HRT, or CRT. So here we've got HC, HC. So this we can remove by absorption. HC, HC. So this we can also remove by absorption. And so we can reduce this to HC, or H bar, C bar, or HRT, or CRT. So here we have a ham sandwich without cheese, and we have a cheese sandwich without ham. So that's how those work. And we can potentially simplify this yet even more if we wanted to, but we will leave it at that.